Good morning. Nama saya Najib Berkati. I'm Belgian, 57. I moved to Malaysia about nearly 15 years ago, and I like Malaysia. I will try to explain why. I've been living in many other places. Before I moved to Malaysia, I lived 19 years in the Netherlands. I lived 1 year in Germany to do my military service. And then before I was living in Belgium, I studied there. I studied also in the Netherlands. And actually, in Belgium even I'm a mix. I'm half Belgian, I'm half Polish. My last name originally is Polish. Polish people are known to be a little bit stubborn, hardworking. Belgian people are known to enjoy life. That's why I feel home in Malaysia. They know how to enjoy life here. Then, when I lived 1 year in Germany, I did my military service there, and because of my funny last name, I end up in the intelligence service. I don't want to go into detail. And then actually, I worked for 2 years in Belgium. I studied at high school. The last 3 years you have to choose a direction. So I studied accounting, law, and because I wanted to go into business that time. Accounting, law, and economy. And then after, when I was high school ends at 18 in Belgium. So then I continued studying ICT accounting, so I did it quite fast because a lot of subjects were double. It's not exactly the same content, but just they go a little bit deeper. So I finished quite early. Then I did my military service. No, you don't have it. It's not compulsory anymore. And then I worked about 2 years in Belgium in IT. I always worked most of the time in IT, but in the evening I always had a passion for sales. So I always got 2 jobs, like my father. My father, he always worked 2 jobs to allow us to work. He had 2 kids, my late father, my late mother. And he worked 2 shifts. He was an inspector during the day, and in the evening he liked to do contracting. He built his own house. He did everything himself except the electricity. And since the age of 12, I followed him, do tiling and all that. So Belgians normally, they are like that. They like to build their own house. They are born like with a brick in the stomach. So I do like houses, but I like quality houses. So my father teach me, when you do something, you do it good or you don't do it. Yeah, no half work. And this is also the way actually I live. I work quite hard, but it's okay. Sometimes, you not consider it work. If you really enjoy what you do, then it's okay. And so in the Netherlands actually, you must live there for 19 years. I know the Netherlands better than Belgium. I lived in many places because of my work, IT. I started Apeldoorn, I go to The Hague, I go to Amsterdam, the whole area around Amsterdam. People made a joke, because Belgium and Netherlands is like Malaysia and Singapore. Yeah, they look a little bit down on us. But I always say, well, they say we are Budu, but or they make jokes about us. But I mean, they for 19 years they hired me, and then I always say, yeah, if you pay me to hire me for a job, so I don't know, then you must be very Budu because. You pay a Budu guy to do the work. But I mean, I think more what they appreciate is the mentality. And what I liked about in Holland, I really want to give some attention to it because I make always jokes, but afterwards, no, I'm just serious. But, is they groomed me to who I am. In Belgium, they say, they call it like the Dutchman, the Hollander. And but what I liked about them is they are very direct. Even the Germans, some of them, they cannot stand them. But they're honest. What they say, they mean, and this is something that groomed me, and this is something that caused a problem with me when I do work in Asia, is because the Dutch way of doing things is, I like working with them. Although we don't like each other, but I mean, same like Singapore and Malaysian, once they are in another country, they get along. But, we make jokes, but it's really, the mentality they grew me. They're very fanatic about learning. So actually, when I was working for Philips, first job I got there, I work for two different divisions of Philips. They forced me to train me, and I get one of education in the National Institute of Marketing Association while I was working as IT. But they really wanted you to improve yourself, don't hang around in pubs. I mean, we do, but the just really study at night, continuously improve, and this drive actually really inspired me and groomed me to who I am. So Holland, you didn't make a Belgian guy out of me, but a lot of things I own to you, the mentality. It's a small country. They had a big empire. I mean, you cannot compare to the UK, who had a big empire, But their drive to do things, and a lot of people call them stingy. But when I was there, yeah, they are stingy. They are. But when there's charity, it's amazing how much they give. So it's maybe just wise and stingy. Yeah. I mean. Malaysia has many races too. Here the Indian, they say if you can sell something to the Indians, they I don't want to use I don't like the word stingy, but they're calculative. And yeah, I mean, I always think, the best finance minister would be an Indian, because if he run the country like he run his family, no single cent will go out. Of course, you have to invest, but it's their mentality. Every race has its charm. Yeah. Look, Malaysia originally, the original Malaysians are the Orang Asli, and you had that in Australia. You had Aboriginals, and you had it in America. You had the Red Indians, and then other people came in, and some people came in over a few hundred years ago. I mean, I hear stories that. There are some, everybody know about Genghis Khan and all that, but there are no records about the Indian Empire, which was very big. It actually, I heard stories that Indonesia and all that, originally they were the Indians, but sometimes it's sensitive in Malaysia, or they make it sensitive. So in my opinion, in Belgium it's very simple. State and religion and government is separated. I put it on my Facebook. I have about my Facebook pages and accounts about 300,000 followers. So some people, what I say, they do like it or they dislike it. That's why I mean, look, everything I say is my own opinion. Yeah, and you can disagree or you can agree, and and some people say I'm crazy. Well, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I may be pleasantly disturbed because people who know me is like I'm always making jokes. I try to stay serious, but I don't know if I can really make it. But yeah. So the whole thing is I want to go back to Malaysia. Why I love Malaysia? First of all, you have all the races, and all the races bring their charm. But all these races build the country to what it is. Yeah, you have the Chinese hardworking, you have the Indian, you have the Malay. Of course, the most population is the Malay. And then you have all the local, Malaysia is divided in East and West Malaysia. I love East Malaysia because when I came here, I think about 35 years ago, my first love was Thailand. And then I came to Malaysia, went to Singapore, and, the time was completely different. It is actually... Only in some places it's still like that. I can see, when I came here, I liked, you sit around the table and these people, they sit around and you had all the races around one table. You had the Malay, the Indian having coffee together. You still find some places that do that, But it's like, no, everybody needs to be separated. And this is something I regret because I saw that. That's why I loved Malaysia when I came. That time traveling, I live here now for nearly 15 years. I think in July it will be 15. And I don't regret a moment, my late wife was Chinese Malaysian, and I was about to accept a job in Australia. Then I met her and I stayed in the Netherlands because she didn't want to go to Australia, because she said this was the time Hong Kong went back to China. She said, because these people are racist, So I said, okay. She said, oh, Holland is great, if there's something they are not there, for sure it's not racist. If they catch you, you're in trouble. But, so she came and she enjoyed, because she was looking, because she's not Malay, she found appreciation in Holland for hard work. She finally died of a stroke on a business trip in Paris. So she was passionate about work like me. That's why we could get along. But it's not easy, So when I came here, I really liked it because I've been traveling here many years, and my dream came true. My daughter was 8 that time, and she went to international school, and she made a lot of friends and all kind of people, especially a lot of people from the government, all these people, kids of Ministry of Education, who say you cannot learn English, but the kids were all there, all the ministry daughters. I'm not going to say which school or whatever, I'm not going to promote by name, but all the kids were there, It's nice to say, English is no good, but you must understand, Malaysia once had a very good English. My late wife spoke 9 languages, I speak 4, 5. So every language is an enrichment of your life. That's how I see it. And my daughter now also speaks 5. I have 2 daughters, one of 22 and one of 12. So every new language, every new skill you have is important. It can enrich your life. Yeah. So it can be a challenge sometimes in Malaysia, but it's very funny. It's by races, and and they do you have to fill in. So when I had to fill in a card, and they ask what is your religion and all that. In Europe, it's an offense, actually. If you ask this question when somebody is applying for a job, you can, I don't know if you can end up in jail, but this is a criminal offense. So I was very shocked to see that they ask what I believe in, and I want to come back to that because you will be shocked too. I promise I shock you. But okay, back to serious. So the whole thing is, I believe Malaysia became strong by the races. That's it. The Chinese, they work hard. And okay, I tell you, when you walk here, it's very simple. I'm not going to identify what I do by the races, but people who live here, they know what I'm meaning. Look, first, some people talk. Well, if you walk, you talk is okay. If you say what you do, and you really take action, but some people only talk and never action, never come for meetings. They say, I do this and that. So I don't know which race. I'm not going to tell you what race that is. Then you have people who work very hard, but always want to take shortcuts. Yeah, they want to maximize profit. And on the long run, when you do projects, I was in specialist landscaping, when you use shortcuts, there could be a problem. If you give a warranty of 10 years and you do shortcuts, you have to go back. And who's going to pay for it? It's under warranty. So you have to redo it, and then after all, you still lose money. Yeah. And then, it's also something about honesty, when you say something, you have to keep your word, Okay. So my father always say, you act. I mean, he was like really a contractor guy, He is. And I like these people, they don't talk bullshit. I mean, they talk, but they walk, they talk, like they say in English, I think. Is you do what you promised. Okay, very simple how to survive in Malaysia. You promise to do. You do what you promise to do. You don't take shortcuts. You be on time for meetings. Maybe you're there sitting alone for half an hour. I mean, can happen, ma. Yeah. And that's how you survive in Malaysia. And you work hard. No, sorry, I don't work hard anymore. I work smart. At my age, you have to work smart. So when you do all that, you will survive in Malaysia. And if all the Malaysians would do that too, they would have a wonderful life, because it's a beautiful country. That's all I have to say. I'm not going to make it too long, because people say, Patrick, you better shut up on time. And yeah, yeah, Patrick is my normal name. To finish, actually, I converted to Islam in 29th of September this year. I will, if people are interested, I will explain why I did that. I was born Catholic, I was atheist, I was Buddhist. Some people may say I was sexist, that is a joke. But and actually, no, I'm Islam, and amazing things happen. But I have to explain that I actually became Muslim because actually people say I live like a Muslim. So I can explain it in the future, but I'm gonna stop it now. Okay, if you like it, you subscribe and press the button. I don't know, I saw some vlogs, so people do that. This is the first time, okay? So give me a break.